Hey everyone, if you guys like the content, go and subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, and give the video a like or share. All right, you guys, what's up? Welcome to the listening room. My name is Eddie Booz. I'm your host, and with me today, special guest, one of my oldest friends, somebody who's quite the guy, good bass player, awesome. He used to play for Halfton, used to be my neighbor, no longer. And after a brief hiatus from hanging out, the triumphant return of Mr. Dan Grammer. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good to see you today, my man.
Thank you.
Cool.
Good to see you too.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Okay, so I always like to start off my show like I like to start off my day with a little bit of gratitude, Dan. So think of one thing you're grateful for. And so today personally, I am grateful for my intelligence, my ability to understand things very quickly and to be able to process information and be able to communicate on a very efficient level. So that's what I'm grateful for today. I'm so grateful today that I have that ability, that I have the intelligence, that I'm aware of it, and that I utilize it, that I actually apply it. So that's what I'm grateful for today. Dan, what are you grateful for today?
I am grateful for family, especially family time. During this time, I'm sure it's been tough for a lot of people, but luckily and fortunately for myself, I've been able to spend a lot of time with my wife and kids and at the house, and I'm sure everybody else has been doing the same thing too, but I've really been enjoying this time. It's a little bit scary, but other than that, man, family's been making it just so worthwhile.
They always do, and that's a great thing to be. That's a fantastic thing to be grateful for, Dan. I love that. Kyle's in the house. He says, "What's up, Dan?"
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
Ray is also with us today as well.
Ray.
And yeah, I always like to say that it's good to be active in your own mental and emotional health. And one of the best ways to do that, I find, is to acknowledge, celebrate, write down, say, and just be aware of the things that you're grateful for. So just taking a second, just every day, to acknowledge just one thing you're grateful for or more, I feel is one of the best ways to, like I said, stay active in your own mental and emotional health, stay participatory in your own rescue. If you're having problems out there, one of the best ways to, kind of try and help yourself is to just acknowledge the things you're grateful for, So try not to let life dictate the circumstances upon which you, which your emotions are always based. Try and, do something about it and be active in it. And that's what I always try and tell everybody. So if you guys out there have something you're grateful for, I invite you to acknowledge it. I invite you to write it down, throw it in the comment section, say it out loud, tell everyone else what you're grateful for, and just spread that kind of love. You know what I'm saying? So Dan, my man, dude, good to see you. It's been a while, my man.
It has.
So Dan called me a couple days ago, and he bought a brand new. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about what this cool little contraption that you got?
All right, so I guess to get to the point, I bought a brand new electric unicycle, and you might be thinking, seeing pedals and all that shit. No, it's just two pedals you stand on. It's electric driven, and you just lean forward and it goes.
So I took some video of it today, and we'll get to that in a little bit here. But first, real quickly, let's go ahead and take a listen to the song, because we do one song every day. That's what this show's about. We do, I do a little interview, and then I take one of the songs out of my catalog, and I pop it in, and I show everybody, and then we discuss it a little bit, and then we move on, and we'll go ahead and we'll show some videos of that pretty awesome unicycle in just a bit here. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Why don't you pop your headphones on here, and let's go ahead and take a listen to Run We Will. This is something I recorded in 2009. I wrote and recorded in 2009. So Enjoy, you guys. This song is called Run, We Will.
Right, the north, then they sail over the tide. Anyway, we learn, we draw the line. Fall with masks, burn out engine gears, 4 miles up the time. Every way we have to make it run on our own. And make it rock, we will. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone. And I get it and I do it again. It's leading me to you, shining from another and winning again. That's keeping me from you. Rise to the occasion for the many years. All the ways you tried to make believe that it's told. And make believe we will. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone. Please don't tell me that you want me to go. I hear you lying from your teeth to your insoles. I'm gonna call you on a daily and night. I'm gonna take you out into the street. Keep it to where we got the night. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone. Please don't tell me that you want me to go, 'cause I know you're fucking lying and I'm leading you home. So we go, now you gotta fucking blow. I don't wanna hear another sorry, leave me alone.
All right, you guys, that was Run, We Will. Let's go ahead and check in with Miss Daisy, see what she thought about that tune. She loves it. She loved it. I love it.
Yeah.
What a good girl. All right, you guys. So me and Dan played in a band called Half Ton together for quite some time, actually many years. And so Dan, why don't you tell everybody how we met and how I got into the band?
All right. So I years ago bought a house in Long Beach, and I was playing with a group of individuals, and I can't even remember what the name we were going by.
Was it Scared of Silence at the time?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Matter of fact, it was
Scared of
Yeah,
Silence.
thank you. It was Scared of Silence. We had Sean Leone. Is that right?
That was before Lenhoff?
Yeah, it was before, after.
Oh, it was after Lenhoff.
After Sean
Gotcha.
Lenhoff. Sean Lenhoff was in with us under a different name, and then it switched to that and then we met Kenny.
Okay.
Hello, Kenny.
You guys have all seen Kenny. Kenny's been a guest.
Yeah.
Kenny was Kenny was my first musical guest on this
nice.
show. Actually,
Okay.
we did the song that I showed the song that Kenny and I did together. So they all know Kenny out there, and Kenny tunes in from time to time. Actually, you might see him in there today.
So then that guy Sean, this guy was like working with Eeyore from it was something else. He says I have to go on a sabbatical. We weren't really sure. We thought maybe he was having a kid. We weren't really sure. So he bounced, and then we ended up being a backing band for a rap project for this white guy that raps from the Inland Empire. And we did that for about 3 months of rehearsing and learning these songs so we can go on tour and do this act and whatnot. And the guys just looked at me. They're like, Dan, if you can't get a singer soon, we're out of here. And I was like, oh. And these guys have been working with me for a while. It's Mike Maurer, if you're listening. What's up,
My
buddy?
man, I haven't seen Mike in a little while, but I love Mike.
Steve Aliata, but you're out in Indiana. And not sure if you're listening either. But
Steve, I don't know about him. I'm just kidding, Steve. I love you, brother.
And then Kenny, of course. And so anyway, I was just bought this house back to where we were at, and I would come home and I'd be out front driving by to my house, and I kept hearing this voice, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for. And sometimes I would hear it with a guitar, and I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? So this goes by for a couple weeks. Then finally one day I was outside watering my yard, and my neighbor across the street, which was next door to Eddie's house, walked over, said hello to me, and I asked her if she had somebody that lived in her house that sang, because I keep hearing this voice, and she goes, oh, that's our next door neighbor's grandson. I'm going to go over and say hi. I'll have him come over and introduce himself. I'm like, all right. Later that day, Eddie came over and knocked on the door and introduced himself, and I said hello and asked if he was interested in being in a project, and he said he was in 8 Count at that time.
I was in 8 Count at the time,
and
yeah.
He was not looking to get into anything else, but he did invite me over to watch football with him and all of his friends. And I didn't go over that on that particular invite. I don't know.
I remember
a week
what,
later
like,
goes
so
by, and
yeah.
I stopped by at your house, and I was like, fuck, I gotta just give him a disc.
That's what he did. He came by with a CD with one song.
What he saying no to,
and it was just, yeah, he came by with one song, and it was like
3, I thought, because you were.
You know what? It was
ready.
It was a
ready
3.
For 3, right?
It was a 3,
Yeah.
and that's right. What happened was you came over with one song with a CD, and you said, "Here's my band." You said, "I know you're not looking to get into anything else, but if you want to like write something to this stuff, like it'd be really cool." Like, so that night I took it, and I remember like I don't remember how long it was, but it wasn't much longer after you gave me. Was it the next day?
Yeah, you're right.
I thought it was the same night actually. But I came back over with one of the songs written, which was Revolution. I remember, and then I sang it. Like we put it on in his studio, and I sang it. And he was like, "Dude, I got to record that right now." So he set me up on a mic, and we recorded it. And like I remember, while I was standing at the mic recording, like he was on the phone, like pointing the phone at me, and like this is before like camera phones were prevalent. So he was just pointing the phone microphone in my direction. And he was like telling this guy on the phone, he was like, I found the guy, you know? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, so I got a call like 2 weeks later from Dan, and I had actually gone on vacation. I was actually out in Oregon, and Dan calls me and says, hey, we're going to play a show. He goes, we got offered to play a show with Head PE at the House of Blues. He goes, do you want to do the show with us? And I had only written that one song up to that point, and I was like, sure. And Dan was like, well, you need the lyrics to the rest of the song. So I wrote the lyrics to like I think 5 more songs, and we had 6. And then we decided, pretty much to lengthen the set. This is our very first show. We decided we were going to put in Regulate, Warren G's Regulate. So we did like a hard rock version of Regulate.
Because we knew we were playing for like kind of a hip-hop-ish crowd.
Exactly, with Head PE. So we put in Regulate. It was super fun. And we played the show. And I remember we got our website up like the day before the show. And the next day we had our show. And there was only 1,500 capacity at the House of Blues. And the next day we had like 12,000 hits on our website.
Yeah, by the end it was like.
And by the end of the month it was like 60.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So we jumped off pretty quick. It did take us a while to garner the local following, which is kind of crazy. We kind of did things backwards. We jumped on, playing with like Head, and we were, garnering that following. But to get the Long Beach following, to get the people who used to watch 8 Count and Hard 90 and those bands, it took a year. It took at least a year of playing backyard parties and, to really, get the following to where when we played the House of Blues, we were packing it, so, but it took a while. But dude, I had such a blast, bro. Like, and that day you came over with the CD too, I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I always like playing music and I always like to sing. And the fact was that at the time, 8 Count had an album, full-length album that we had recorded. And I wanted to play shows, and they didn't want to play until we had the album out. So, but the album wasn't being mixed at the time, and by no means was I putting 8 Count on the back burner. I just wanted to play some shows, and I was totally willing to just jump on a project and jam, and that turned into my main project as 8 Count kind of broke up not long after that, actually. and became This Love Machine, actually, which is was an incredible band. Like, still absolutely love with all my heart, very dearly, Matt Ewell and Truhan and Joe and Mike Norden. Love all those guys so much, but yeah, Halftone became the main project I was in, and Dan and I and Steve and Mike and Kenny all put together this show that I had previously not experienced as far as a band went before, because this was the first band I was in, Halftone, that took the stage performance to another level. I mean, I've been in bands before that the stage performance was really great, but we took it to another level where we were like having stage performance practices. One person would be on the stage at a practice at a time, or we would do like semi choreographed things where we were remembering, this is what I can do, this is what I should do, this is what my body's capable of, and then applying it in the middle of actual performances, after having practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. As my dad always said, it's not practice that makes perfect, it's perfect practice that makes perfect. If you're practicing correctly, you're going to perform correctly. If you're practicing wrong, you're going to mess up. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're practicing sloppy, if you're practicing something not incorrect, what the fundamentals are not right. Do you see what I'm saying? So we didn't leave anything to chance. We really took it to another level as far as the stage performance went. And then the musicianship, I feel, was a really, really unique blend of voices coming from all 5 different members of the band. So Halftone really worked out to be kind of something kind of special, I really thought, and
most songs were written off of breaks. Somebody walked in and just either Mike's doing something on drums, Steve,
right,
or me, and then you walk right in with a piece of paper and start doing your thing.
And I'll just have you guys play one part over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, go to the next part. Now play that.
Yeah.
And as you guys are doing that, you guys are refining what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like Lopsided and things like that.
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the.
Shit, Viagra was that way.
Right. Yeah. So.
Crowd favorite.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah. So, definitely want to get Dan in here more often. Get some of the songs from Halftone up. Pretty soon we're gonna do a whole stint of Halftone songs. I've got about 14, 15 songs to show you guys. So we're gonna do about like 2 or 3 weeks of Halftone music. Throughout those 3 weeks, we'll have Mike, Kenny, Dan, and maybe we can get Steve, logged in on one of these, and maybe even Tyler, if we can get a hold of Tyler. You still talk to Tyler?
Time to time, yeah.
Okay. Dan's Kermit. Yeah, Dan's got his info. So, there was a couple guys who came in and played guitar after Steve. So I'd like to touch base with them and see how they're doing. So
yeah.
Remember that guy Neil who played with us? Was that his name?
Neil.
Was that his name?
Neil?
I think so.
What kind of amp did he use?
Defender. He's like a Fender Twin.
I thought it was a Vox, but maybe that was Tyler and his.
Tyler, that was Tyler. Yeah.
Had all kinds of crazy shit.
But anyway, now we had about we went through.
Was that like
the more skinnier kid?
Skinnier Hesher guy.
Yes. Yeah. So but no, we had a blast playing in Halftone. We played for a long time with the original lineup, and then Steve unfortunately moved out of state, and we looked for a guitarist for about a year, and nothing really worked out. I ended up playing guitar towards the end for us, and unfortunately we didn't move forward. But there's always room to jump to a new
new thing.
Yeah. We can always jump into something new,
Yeah.
Dan. Let's see, like what we used to do for stage presence, Ray mentions out there that we did put a lot of work into our stage presence practices. And sometimes it would be like, we would have like Dan would take up the entire stage for one song. And then everyone else would step off the stage and we'd play the song. And Dan would have to cover all that space. All the entire stage, not just his area. He'd have to cover the entire stage and really give a good stage performance. And then we'd have Steve do the same thing, and then we'd have Kenny do the same thing. And Kenny's attached to his keyboard, so Kenny would just have to find creative ways to rock the whole. He would started to strap his keyboard to his keyboard stand and rock the whole thing back and forth. And he would find ways to like even widen his stance like in certain ways and like really give a great stage performance. And Mike did the same thing. It was a lot of upper body movement and a lot more throwing it out there. So it was really cool actually. And then we'd have like we'd do a song where all of you guys were on stage and I'd be off the stage and I'd be like, okay, like Dan, cover more area. Okay, like Steve, widen your stance. Okay, like Kenny, like get ready to rock your keyboard. And we would do I would give suggestions and stuff like that too. So it was.
There's a video on YouTube of us rehearsing at
the bomb shelter. I remember Britt came in one day with like a camera.
It's really good, except for the first 2 minutes of just like Dom just kind of just.
Oh, that was when
plugging.
Dom was jamming with us
Yeah.
after the fact. Yeah, we came back and tried to bring the band back a couple years
Dom,
later.
we miss you. Even though they don't talk to us anymore.
I love you. All right, I love you, Dom.
We understand.
Even though you don't talk
find
to us
better
anymore.
friends. I get
love
it.
you.
I get it. I get it.
All right, so check this out. So today, Dan calls. Like I said, it's been a long time since Dan and I have hung out. Not too long, but it's been long enough. And Dan calls me and he goes, "Hey, I got this new electric unicycle." He goes, "I want to come by and jam with you. Let's go ride, because I got the one wheel." And I was like, "Let's do it." So Dan cruises over with this electric unicycle he just buys today. And before we watch some of these videos that I recorded today, why don't you tell us, a little bit about what it is, how it works, what these things capable of, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell everyone what's going on, what they're about to see here.
All right. Well, first off, if anyone gets excited about an electric unicycle in any shape or form you want to buy one, I'm going to give the same advice that this good old guy Scott Leese gave me. He says, get a used one. You're going to drop it. You're going to buy a really nice thing, and it's going to look like shit. It's going to be all scratched up. So I went online, didn't know what the hell I was buying. $300 eBay, got this little thing. It came in, and I was expecting it to be like so big or whatnot. And get here, and it's like tiny. I'm like, what the fuck? It looks like a toy.
The first time I rode with this guy was the very first time he had rode a long distance ride.
Yeah.
And he brings it to my house. Other than that, he had just rode it around the school by his house. So he brings it to my place for like a 5-mile ride, like through streets and through parks and stuff. And it was tiny. I mean, the thing was like, it couldn't have been more than like 10 to 12 inches,
tiny.
like
Looks like a
around.
toy.
I mean, it was crazy. But the one he brought over today was significantly larger. So go ahead, Dan. And what's this thing capable of? What's this new one capable of? First of all, what was the first one you bought?
So the first one, I'm going to get to that. So the top speed is 18.6, and I was like, well, from what I read on other newer ones, that's pretty good. There's ones that are much slower. Then, let's get to that. The top ones can hit like 47 miles an hour. These
47 miles an hour on an electric unicycle.
I got full body armor.
You don't have handlebars, a seat, nothing.
Nothing to hold on to.
You're just standing there doing 47 miles an hour. It's a trip to watch this thing work. Anyway.
I've been like basically watching and reading everything about unicycles for the last 6 months and trying to isolate down to what I want. So anyway, I ended up placing an order. Didn't work out for other reasons, and I bought this one that's almost the fastest one because I rode this one and had these battery issues. Anyway, so I got this one, and I hit up Eddie yesterday. I was like, hey, I got this brand new thing, and I was scared, man. I have to tell you, I had anxiety. I didn't feel like it was mine. I put fucking duct tape all over this thing because I thought it was going to fall over and like scratch itself, kind of like the first one did. But of course, I learned. Thank you, Scott Leese, for telling me to practice. I ended up putting a little over 200 miles in that little one.
You still have it, or did you sell it yet?
Still have it.
Okay.
My youngest son is putting interest into wanting to learn.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I got this one, and it was like, whoa, what a trip. So I rode it. I put about 8 miles on it or something like that, and I just said, fuck it, pulled all the duct tape off because the sun's going down. So this particular unicycle, which you'll see in this video, has light rings that go all the way around it, and you can change their color, how they act, flash, and all that stuff, so it looks like a light show. It has a headlight that is bright, and when you turn, it turns with you. So as you go into your turn, the light will actually turn, so it's not lighting up an area you're not actually turning into. It's amazing. It's got a USB charge.
When you start turning, the light turns first. You're kidding me. What? This thing gets cooler and cooler every time he tells me about it.
Particular wheel doesn't do 47, it does 40.
Gee.
Yeah.
Only 40.
I went from a one wheel with Eddie that I think probably the most I could get out of that thing was about 14 to 15 miles on a charge. This one gets 70 miles.
By the way,
70 miles.
Dan, you may be stoked about this electric unicycle, but you've not ever been as stoked about this as you have about the one wheel. Verbally to me.
No, I would say,
when you've got the one wheel, you were like, bro, this is the coolest thing I've ever fucking done. And it got on it, and I agreed.
True.
I
still like it. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
it's just
I feel
the
you.
safety. I ate my chin.
Oh,
with
dude,
this
I remember
dude,
that.
matter
Yeah,
of fact.
dude, I ate it 5 times at over 20 miles an hour.
Pretty Yeah,
hard,
I
like
watched almost every
significantly. Like I
single one of
couldn't
them.
walk right for like 6 months. Like it's not okay. So so explain that. So there's a difference between the one wheel, which I've shown you guys, is an electric skateboard that has one wheel and it goes off your body. It's an ECU, EUC,
It's it's a PEV,
PEV.
personal electric vehicle. So
The one wheel is
so is my unicycle.
okay.
But,
But
we call my unicycle an EUC.
EUC
which
technology. It's got the same technology as the one wheel does. The one wheel has the same technology.
It's got gyroscopic.
Gyroscopic. So you lean forward and you go. It goes off your body weight. So, but the one wheel is like a skateboard, and his is like you stand on the side of the. It's a fucking wheel. You stand on with your feet on the sides of this thing, and you just lean forward, and it goes. But crazy thing about the one wheel is that it doesn't have any like safety features. In fact, the safety features are literally non-existent on this thing. Like if you lean too far forward while going its maximum speed,
Corey Davis.
it will show. Tons of
times
everybody I know. Everybody. So, but dude, it'll shut off on you. You'll be riding down the street. You're going as fast as you can go. You lean too far forward. It shuts off. The nose goes clink dead into the cement, and you go flying
Like a catapult.
And it sucks. It's terrible. And you can look up
Human
videos.
cannonball.
You can look up videos on YouTube of one wheel crashes, and actually there's some pretty gnarly like one wheel like.
Has there been deaths?
One wheel crashes. I don't know,
There
dude.
has to be.
There has to be.
There has to be.
Dude, I don't know. All I know
I'm
is
not trying to like.
look, I don't ride it as like that anymore. I don't ride it as fast as I could possibly go, like I used to. I treat it with respect. That's why when we rode today, we were only doing 16, 17 instead of 23. Like we used to do. So let's take a look real quick here at one of the videos. Actually, let's check in real quick with Miss Dick. All right, I guess electric unicycles bore Miss Daisy. All right, you guys. So let's check out the first video here where I'm going to show you guys is actually all three of the videos I'm going to show you guys here are exactly the same thing, but they're different portions of the ride today. So here we go. All right, so this is what one of those electric unicycles looks like. So how fast do you think we're going right here, Dan?
I'd probably reach about 18.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like up through there?
Yeah, but I don't think we were hitting. At times, like I got close to 20, but I'm still getting that weird acclimation wobble thing at high speeds.
Gotcha.
Now,
Yeah.
mind you, that first wheel that we were telling you about, that small one, weighs about 25 pounds. This one you're looking at weighs about 60 something, and it's a tank.
And this one also does not fall. Like you can't fall forward on this thing. Like you try, like if you try and like lean too far forward, it won't let you.
The other one won't either, but it has its breaking point. This one doesn't have a breaking point.
This one will just like it slows you down. It just stops you when you get going too fast or when you lean too far forward. It'll literally kick back on you, so you can't fall forward. It's got safety measures like that. I wish the one wheel had that kind of safety measures, dude. Like that's what.
Well, you could try to, but you'd be going so damn fast so quickly that you couldn't. Those things are, if you lean, it just like takes off.
All right, so look at that. Look at this thing. It's not much to that thing. Ray asks if the wheel slips on sand or gravel.
Well, it's a little squirrely. You're supposed to lower your air pressure, but no, I've ripped in spots that I guess the one wheel would make it through. The other day I was riding with a guy in my neighborhood. He had a gas bicycle, those beach cruisers, and he went over by the horses off of by your grandmother's house back there, and so I went with him on the little
nice.
on the little one and ripped right through there at high speed.
Oh, on the little one.
Yeah.
No shit.
So. And then I rode with you today for a brief second for the first time in the dirt. I didn't want to get it dirty, of course.
Right.
But that was my first time, so it felt a little squirrely. That thing weighs a ton, though. I got to get.
It handles pretty well, dude. You're moving pretty good on this thing, dude. So you could be doing 40 and lean into it, and it'll slow itself down. It won't let you fall forward.
Oh yeah, the car thing will slow you down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There you go, little shot of the onesie. That's what I'm following him on. That's what I'm riding. Looks like I'm naked. Oh, with shoes on, right? Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Oh, I love it, dude. Dude, legit. I love that thing. So
That used to be part of one of our rides favorites back in the nighttime rides.
yeah.
Oh, I used to love that band.
So we used to ride. We used to ride quite a bit. So we have this one ride where we'll ride from my house and we ride out and we ride through 6 parks, and it's about like 7 or 8 mile ride, maybe 8 mile ride. Oh wait, it's longer than that. It's like 10 or 11 miles.
Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah.
It's like 10 or 11 miles, and we go through Liberty Park,
Frisbee golf over there.
Boyer, Del Val, Liberty, Reinerson, Hartwell, and Pan Am. Kyle asks if it goes off road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it goes off road.
Yeah, people jump those things. Like,
You're kidding me. The unicycles,
yeah.
the electric
Do
unicycles.
grab airs and everything. Yeah. It's like riding a bicycle, really. And I'm like, wow, that thing is that as soon as you land, it just takes back over and knows you got to stay flat. It's a trip, man.
Bro, I don't know about that. I
Guys
don't
go-
know about all that.
They ride up and down
dude.
stairs. They ride upstairs and downstairs on them. I'm like,
What? We upstairs?
yeah, they'll ride up the stairs. So we went on this corkscrew thing.
Yeah, I
bridge
should have
thing.
got footage of that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how well your unicycle took that corkscrew up and down. I was like, holy shit! Like this thing's pretty awesome, dude. And like I said, it handles well, it corners pretty well. I still feel like I still feel like the one wheel will corner and just smash through like real quick trails better, or maybe you just got to get used to it. Yeah.
I want to say that. Oh, I think a one wheel will handle better than my particular choice because they have other ones that are lighter.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah, where they move the weight down a little bit. They may not have as much range, but then the guys will buck the tire off and they'll actually put a knobby dirt tire on.
Oh, yeah.
Like on a dirt bike, and I guess they handle like a dream in the dirt, but you can ride just the same. I just don't particularly want to beat up my wheel like that because it was a big investment.
Totally, of course.
I got bad knees anyway. I don't want to do that.
So how much does something like this go for? How much does yours go for?
Mine went for $2,200.
Okay, and then you were telling me about the one that Tesla came out with recently. That's $1,300. You said?
No, that's an old one. It's about 2 years old. There's one. It's made by Gotway, same as my particular model, and it's called the Tesla, and it's like $1,299 or something right now, and it does 37 miles an hour, and it can do 40 or 50 miles on a charge. It's unheard of.
And how much?
Like $1,399 or $1,299, something like that.
That's pretty damn good. Robbie says, "I want to see you ride it on a tightrope."
I watched some dude do that on a bicycle the other day. He was like doing is that what it's called, flatlining in his backyard?
On a bicycle.
On a bicycle, he would go over.
That's pretty
and
cool.
Make it to one box, hop, turn around, and ride back.
And go
He-
back.
He did it 3 times until he fell. I was like, that's crazy.
That's pretty dope. So Robbie, my man, is supposed to be on the show this week, except his birthday was yesterday. So I want to tell Robbie a quick happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And yeah, so we're gonna actually. He says Circus Vargas is hiring.
Guys are bad at that.
All right.
China.
I don't think there's gonna be many people in the audience though right now, Rob. Right. But so yeah, I love the electric unicycle, my man. And but Robbie, you're gonna be on next week with me, so make sure you're ready for that. So Dan, how long does it take for somebody to be efficient from never having ridden one of these to riding efficiently like today, like we saw you on the video?
I will say that if you want to look at time, if you try it at least 5 minutes.
Miles.
Miles? to ride like I did today,
100 miles, 200 miles.
say about 200 miles, and that comes up pretty fast because if you get fairly proficient, I would ride like a half a mile my first week, and then the second week I was going for almost a mile, and then right after that, the biggest thing was 2 miles, and that was the tough one for your feet because
Gotcha.
you're just standing there and they
Yeah.
just get tired of standing. And then today I think I did almost 10 miles before I got off.
Yeah, we did about 10. Well, we
no,
took
we
2
did stop.
breaks.
Yeah,
There were
so-
two breaks we took.
I still got to develop the foot strength, I guess, and
Sure.
like I did on the one wheel. So
Yeah, it's a whole different set of stabilizing muscles. Yeah.
that's why I think I'm getting that wobble from, is because I don't have
Sure.
them developed yet for
Sure.
such a heavy wheel.
Right on, man. Well, look, it was wonderful having you today. You got, brother. I really appreciate you, my man. Coming up on the listening room tomorrow, we're gonna have from the Mind Tasting podcast, Mr. Kyle Romero will be joining me from San Francisco, the Bay Area tomorrow. He'll be in the house, and on Friday we're gonna have musical guest Mr. Crumb will be joining us on Friday. So make sure and tune in then. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. we're gonna be doing a jam session right here live on youtube.com/EddieBooze with maybe a couple musicians, maybe just one other than myself. So tune in tomorrow for some live music at 8 p.m. right here, youtube.com/EddieBooze. Thank you again so much for joining me today, Dan. Thank you so much to everyone out there for joining us today in the listening room. Absolutely love you guys. If you guys liked what you guys saw today, if you guys liked the content on the channel, please feel free to contribute. You guys can find me at PayPal and Venmo at Eddie Booze. Love every single one of you guys. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Let's check in with Miss Daisy one more time, just for the hell of it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Take care. Thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the listening room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.